Ever opened a cupboard where everyone in the house has been stuffing things for months? Now imagine that cupboard is your Azure account. You are the one responsible for finding order in that chaos. That's where Azure Policy and Management groups come in. Your blueprint and house rules to keep the digital mess under control. Why Azure Policy is your cloud's traffic cop? What's the deal with management groups? And also learn how exactly it helps in SAP on Azure. Let's dive in. Welcome back to AZ-120 SAP Workloads on Azure series, and in this series we are exploring foundations of identity and governance for SAP on Azure. And in this video we will talk about governance on SAP, specifically focusing on Azure policies. If you're new here, my name is Rajdeep. I am a Microsoft certified trainer and a solution architect, helping clients build amazing solutions every day. And we are on a mission to make learning fun as well as crack certifications in that process. Topic 1: Azure policies. Imagine you are running a restaurant. Customers order anything they want, even if it's not on the menu. Chefs use random ingredients and every meal costs a fortune. You wouldn't run a restaurant like that, right? But that's what happens in cloud without Azure Policy. Azure Policy is like your restaurant manager, which ensures the chefs use fresh ingredients, aka security, make sure nobody orders biryani on a fast food budget, aka cost, and keeps the kitchen clean to pass the health inspections, aka compliance. Well, you might be thinking that I keep giving restaurant examples. It's just that I love food, and that thought made me hungry. Coming back to our topic, what is Azure Policy and why should you care? To put it simply, Azure Policy is a service in Azure which allows organizations to enforce rules or guidelines across cloud environments. This allows companies to enforce standards for security, cost, and compliance without you having to check everything manually. How does it work? Azure Policy has three main components, namely policy definition, policy assignment, and policy effect. Let's break down each one of them. First, policy definition. These are actual rules which you set. For example, a rule which only allows Azure VMs to be created in a specific region. When someone tries to create an Azure policy outside the region, which is not defined in the policy, it will get blocked. Policy assignment. This is where you tell Azure which resources or group of resources the rules should apply to, namely a management group, a subscription, or Azure resource groups. Policy effect. This is what is called consequence. When a rule is broken, Azure Policy can perform following actions. It can deny, block the action altogether, audit, let the action happen, but log that it broke the rule, append, add missing information, example, a required tag, remediate, automatically fix issues such as adding a missing tag to an existing resource. Let's take a real life scenario. A global software company wants to save money, so they used Azure Policy to deny expensive Azure VM sizes, auto add cost center tags for billing clarity, audit encryption settings for storage accounts. Guess what? They saved thousands of dollars in 1 month. Let's quickly head into the Azure portal and create a tag policy for environment equal to production. Okay, we are in the Azure portal and I've already created a resource group called my resource group. Now we are going to apply the tag production policy on this. So in the search bar, let's type in policy, click on that, and you can see there is a getting started page. So this is like a kickstart wherein you can use some of the inbuilt policies. Now there is an inbuilt policy which says require tag for resource group. This is precisely what we are looking for. So let's click on that. You need to define the scope. The scope basically tells to what region this policy will apply. Let's select our subscription and select our resource. It also asks you for exclusions. We'll come to that later. And the policy definition, require tags on resource group. So you can give a assignment name. By default, it says requires a tag on the resource group. You can change this name if you want, but we'll keep it default. Under policy enforcement, it says enabled, which means the policy is enforced as soon as it is created. Let's click on next, tag name, and click on next. And if there is a non-compliance, then if you want to give a message, so you can type it here. So I can just say not compliant with the policy, click on next, click on create. Now the policy assignment is created successfully. It should have gotten assigned, but it will say not started. Require a tag on resource group, and the compliance state is saying not started, which means the policy enforcement has not yet started. It will start after some time. Take some time for the policy to get enforced. We'll come back to it later. If you like my content, do consider to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified for any new video. So you might ask, can you group the policies? Well, you can group similar policies to work together for a bigger goal, like meeting security standards or regulations. Now Azure lets you bundle these policies onto something called as an initiative. For example, there might have been several policies for encryption, required tags, and allowed locations. You can group them into security and compliance initiative and assign them all at once. Now there are always exceptions. There might be an exceptional case, an odd egg, wherein you might want the resource in question to be exempted from the policy for some reason. For example, you have created a regional policy for creating Azure VM, but you get a request for an application which needs a VM to be created outside that boundary. Now, how do you do that? Well, you can apply an exception which ensures Azure policy does not enforce the rule on a particular resource or resource group. Let's try to create an exception for the policy which we had created earlier. So we'll come back to the Azure policies. We will go to the policy which we had applied earlier. Require a tag on resource group. Click on that and you will see a create exemption option here. Let's click on that, and the scope we will define, say, test RG, and the exemption category is waiver, which means policy will not apply on this resource group. I'll click on next, and create. Now after some time, this policy will not be applicable on test RG. Now obviously it takes some time to apply the policy and evaluate it. Let's create another policy to allow specific locations. So let's see if we have an inbuilt policy for this. So we have something called as allowed location. Let's click on that, and this is the definition of the policy. If we read the definition, it says properties, which basically defines what is the property of this policy, the version number, and list of allowed locations. So you can allow multiple locations. Let's click on assign policy. Scope will keep our subscription, and the policy definition is allowed locations. Let's click on next, and in parameters we can select a specific location. Say we select UK South. What this essentially does is it tells the policy only allow resources to be created in UK South. So we'll click on next and click on create. Now the policy assignment is created and assigned successfully to our subscription. Let's try to create a resource group outside UK South, and let's see if it allows us to do that. Let's click on create. Name resource group something like my test RG02, and the location I will select Italy North. I click on next. The first validation has failed. Remember, we had applied a policy that do not allow to create any resource group without the tag. So I will say environment, click on next and click on create. The policy which we had created allowed locations. It is created, but as you can see, the compliance state is not started. So what this essentially means is as soon as you create a policy, it doesn't apply immediately. There is some time which it takes. So you can see a newly assigned policy has not started. Refresh the view to see the latest evaluation results. So it will evaluate all the resources and then it will start. So once this is started, then we can test if it's allowing us to create a resource outside the defined location. Now we can see our policy which we had created for allowed locations has started enforcing. The compliance state is saying non-compliant for 2 resources out of 4. Let us test this policy. I have a resource group, my resource group. Let us go ahead and create some resource inside it. So I'll try to create a key vault and click on create and just give it a random name, key v123, and the region, note I have selected East US. So this is not as per our policy. Let us see if the policy blocks it. Just click next, and it is running a validation. The validation has failed. If you click on the details, it says resource was disallowed by policy. So which means our policy has started enforcing itself. So you cannot create a resource outside UK South. Let's now look at how you can create an initiative out of the policies. Let's click on definition and create an initiative definition. Give it a scope, subscription, name initiative 1, next, and then you can add policies. Let us add some policies like allowed location. I have added one policy, so you can add multiple policies like this, and we can click on next, and it will ask you to set the value of allowed location. So let us say UK South and create. Now you see an initiative has been created. So we saw how we can create a policy, how we can assign exceptions to the policy, how the policy enforcement happens, and how we can create an initiative, which is basically nothing but a basket of policies. So let's recap the benefits of Azure Policy. Consistency ensures all resources follow the same rules. Security helps prevent misconfigurations that could lead to security breaches. Compliance makes it easier to meet the regulatory requirements, and automation saves time by automatically enforcing the rules and fixing the issue. Let's look at another topic in relation to Azure governance, which is Azure Management Groups. What is Azure Management Groups? We know the basic building block in Azure is the resources. Each resource in Azure needs to present in a resource, and the resource group needs to sit in a subscription. Now, what if we have multiple subscriptions? One for finance, one for IT, one for SAP. Why would you do that? Well, in order to have efficient billing methodology, so you know whom you are spending your money on and how much. Also, you might want different policies for different subscriptions. Now, there is something called as management groups, which can help you organize and manage multiple Azure subscriptions. Think of it like a file system where each folder can hold other folders. This hierarchy makes it easier to apply rules, policies, and access control across many subscriptions at once, rather than having to set them up individually. Now, how does it work? At the very top is the root management group, also called the tenant root group. This is created by default. Below this root group, you can create management groups. Within these management groups, you can organize your subscriptions. Cool thing is, any policy assigned at root level is automatically applied to all the subscriptions beneath. The management group allows you to manage access, compliance, and cost across subscriptions from one place. This simplifies administration and ensures governance across your cloud environment. Example, for an SAP on Azure, you can have one subscription dedicated solely to SAP workloads, governed separately from your other workloads, ensuring compliance with SAP best practices. As explained in this diagram, the root level group is Contoso root. Under that, child management group is marketing, which contains marketing, dev, test subscriptions. Next, IT team has two more child groups under it, infra team and application team, which have their respective subscriptions. So any organization level policy you apply to the root, and any department specific policy like for management group and IT, you can apply on the child management groups. So you see, it's like a tree structure for administering the cloud environment. So let's recap what we learned today. We learned Azure Policy plus management groups is equal to predictable cloud costs, better compliance, and easier SAP deployments with fewer headaches. Drop your questions below. Next up, Azure automation and policy compliance for SAP workloads. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to CertHeads. Till then, take care, have fun, and I will see you in the next one.